Salmons with the pass. Rigg goes to Buck. Ball is dug by Stavertlik. And Buck's shot goes just long, John. Buck off the net a little bit. Had a tough shot off that transition ball, and that's a point. Dan Hannon, my vote for Rookie of the Year, is young and not so restless.
Yeah, I don't know what their problem is. You know, I'm one of the youngest guys. I've got a lot of energy, ready to play the finals, and then I'm going to go out for some sprints after this.
Hannon knows that he's lucky to have such experienced people to play with, and it makes his youthful vitality all the more effective, Duffy.
And Dvorak serves 1-0. Going after Salmons. We're going to have to talk about that, aren't we, John? As Hannon and Salmons match up in the middle. Salmons kind of reaches up, taps the young guy on the head with the ball.
Club really has two middle blockers, two men that can play the middle and have been playing the middle. Here we see Steve Salmons. We see the big middle blocker. Craig Buck is on the outside there, and Salmons goes up on that tight ball and penetrates over the net. It's a big advantage when you have two such huge blockers at the net, as does Club.
Gene looked up from the outside. Doug Rigg gets a hand on the ball. That's a side out for Champion. We go back to Champion service 1-0.
Gene LeDuff, no spring chicken himself. They've got a lot. They call it a veteran squad out here with the addition of youthful Danny Hannon. They've got a lot of poise.
Stavertlik serves wide as the wind, John, is coming off the right side of the court. Bob's right side there, and seen that ball kind of drifted wide.
It's really blowing around. It's not a consistent breeze that's present on the court today, but it's a welcome breeze after all the heat.
And a block by Steve Salmons on Dan Hannon. The set looked a little low. Hannon had nowhere to go.
Here comes the middle, and look at Steve Salmons up early with Hannon. Hannon takes a full swing, but Salmons read him cross court, reached to the angle. That's just a veteran move by Steve Salmons.
1-1 is the score here in Texas, and we'll be right back to the Bud Foreman and Club as we take a look at the Grand Prix, the season overall standings. Champion and Club at the top. When does Paul Mitchell move ahead of Speedo? They're getting in some semis.
They're getting closer, and if they just got so far behind by virtue of their early tournament finishes that they're just not able to contend. And Speedo's had a couple of good shows as well to creep up to the top. But Club and Champion have really been the consistent cream of the crop, and that's what puts them atop the Grand Prix ladder.
And they are doing battle on center court here in Irving, Texas. We're going to get back to the action right now. Buck serves ones. Dvorak goes back to Bob Stavertlik. He's blocked on the outside by Salmons and Buck. Try again, Bob. That time, the solo block. He gets by Buck down the line. Good.
Stavertlik with only one blocker up. That's a real vacation for Bob, who usually draws a big crowd at the net and has two people on him. There's Dusty Dvorak. He sees the middle blocker go off to this side. Now, that's what a veteran setter will do. He'll actually watch the movements of the opposing middle blocker, and Dusty isolates Stavertlik one-on-one. Great move by Dusty.
My vote for Rookie of the Year. Hannon serves it up and ones. Williams going up in the middle. The ball kept alive by Dvorak and Hannon. Stavertlik has to bump it over. Gene LeDuff and Bob Stavertlik bump into each other as Club has another opportunity now for their side out. Craig Buck taps the ball off the top of the net. Gene LeDuff was nowhere on that block, and that's point number 2 for Champion.
That set died inside on Buck, who's hitting left side now. He was going out for a wide 3-set, transitioned into a 4, which is very wide. The set goes outside, but it doesn't go outside far enough. Buck was waiting out there, didn't get a swing at it, just had to try and wrist it down the line, but a little too sharp and out of bounds.
Now, that's the way that the wind is blowing, John. Wind coming across that side of the court. Is Rigg having a tough time pushing that 3 out there?
Well, the left side hitter, in that case, Buck, has to be ready for that ball to either go wide or come inside. That time, Buck got caught waiting outside, and the set did drop inside. It's tough to read that ball for anybody.
Hannon will serve 2-1. Salmons passes the ball to Buck. And Jeff Williams, reaching back, has to just take a swing at the ball and hope to win a deep middle. He doesn't get it.
I mentioned that Salmons is usually a middle hitter. That means he doesn't serve receive. In this formation, with the addition of Buck to the lineup, he's now serve receiving, so people are usually coming at him.
Jeff Williams helping out Steve Salmons there with a pass. Salmons comes up and does not help out himself, nor his Hannon is at the service line. 4 serves 1. Williams with the pass to Rigg. He takes a look at Craig Buck. He's there. And the ball goes down. Two guys scrambling in the backcourt for Champion, but the ball goes down for Biggie Craig Buck.
Another variable swing by Buck. Not the complete can of kaboom that he can deliver, Duffy. Just a nice roundhouse arm swing when he senses that block up there and the ball goes to the sand.
Steve Salmons will serve. Salmons very fatigued in tournament play as he's doing it all. Pass receiving, coming up for the block, and right there Dan Hannon puts the ball away. And what John right now seems to be kind of a flat emotional feeling to the match. Very flat. Pretty simple work for Champion right now and a tough job for Club.
There's Danny Hannon in the middle. He says, I'm not unemotional. I'm going to try and fire these guys up, but consider the elements. Again, Duffy, it is so hot out there that these guys are worried. They're really perplexed about, you know, are they going to make it physically? Are they going to break down, perhaps? Are they going to get cramps? And those are issues that keep people down.
Joining us in the booth, Alan Allen, the captain of Paul Mitchell. A tough match for you in the semis. And Alan, first off, very hot. Really difficult for the players.
It's Africa hot out there. Yesterday it got up to 120, and so it's very difficult out there.
We go back to the action on the court. Dusty Dvorak at service. Riggs sets the ball to Jeff Williams, a Club, and he bangs off the block for the side out.
Alan, you got a million sets during this tournament. Staverdlik's had a million, and so has Buck. How are you feeling? You're not going to be doing any mountain bike riding after this tournament, are you? Are these guys going to make it?
I don't know. I know I'm not going to play any doubles tomorrow. It's pretty hot out there, and I think they're just trying to conserve some energy.
Jeff Williams at the service line. And the ball goes wide. Excuse me, the ball is good. That's a side out for Club. Eugene LeDuff will go to the service line, 4 serving 1.
That's high off the block by Staverdlik. Again, there's Staverdlik. He's the master of tooling that block. Alan's he ever tooled you on this same play? Look at him out there.
So many times. He's like an eagle. He can see the whole court, and he's an incredible player.
3 men up on him that time, but not enough. As Staverdlik sees where the opening is and always finds it, doesn't he?
LeDuff serves, 4-1. Williams goes to Doug Rigg. He goes back to Steve Salmons. Gino LeDuff keeps the ball alive, but he bumps that ball over. And Gene LeDuff in the backcourt again. Dvorak tries to dump it over. Club working hard for a side out, and John, they don't get it. Allen, very difficult right now. Club is not getting the ball put away by their big guy, Craig Buck.
Champion's playing really good defense. They're picking up everything. And, you know, it gets frustrating when you're a hitter out there because, you know, you keep swinging hard and they keep digging it.
They had a nice block to end that thing. Look at Danny Hannon get over the net against Craig Buck, and that's a big challenge for him.
We talk about the big block of Club, Allen, but right now Hannon is doing the work on Craig.
It's the Hannon cannon.
And Salmons shanks a pass into the crowd. That's another point for Champion. With our score 6-1 here in Irving, Texas, we'd like to thank Alan Allen, the captain of Paul Mitchell. That's 2 semis in a row for you guys. We're looking forward to seeing you in the finals next week in Clearwater with your team, Paul Mitchell. Al.
Yeah, we'll keep trying, keep swinging. You know, that's our motto with Paul Mitchell. I just like to say hi to the fans out there on TV land. And we'll see you guys next week.
You did. Say hi to them in the final. We'll be right back to Irving, Texas after this. Riggs serves. Oh, Gene LeDuff with a big hit from the outside. Nice move, great approach, good swing.
Nice elevation by Eugene. He really got up on that outside set, and Salmons, who was trying to close the block, was blocking down low. Take a look at this elevation, this nice high arm swing by Eugene LeDuff. Up and over the top of those blockers, and Buck retreating off the net from his blocking position. Couldn't pick it up.
Bob Staverdlik will serve. 6 serving 1. Riggs stays in the middle to Jeff Williams, and he hammers off the block of the hammer himself, Dan Hannon.
That's one of the standard plays for Club now, is that Craig Buck goes wide for a 3-set, the threat of that quick, low outside set, or the 4-set. Doug Rigg handles the ball, and with the blockers going outside to get on Buck, only one man there to stop Jeff Williams, and that's not enough as Willie pounds hard. Bingo.
Dusty goes outside to Gene LeDuff, and Gene LeDuff is blocked. LeDuff is stopped by Craig Buck on the outside. That is point number 2 for club. It'll be 2 serving 6.
LeDuff had enough height to get over Salmons, but add a few inches, add Craig Buck to the formula, and he's not going to get over that one. That was a very nice outside block, too, by Rig.
That was Rig.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Buck was slapping 5. Rig slapped 5 on the ball. Dvorak goes back to Bob Stavertlek. Jeff Williams keeps the ball alive. Craig Buck dishes to Salmons. Dusty says, Bob here. Rig with a dig, and Craig Buck goes up. Oh, and he's getting called for an open hand, and there goes Jeff Williams running to the post to talk to
Williams is complaining, but Craig Buck is not. Really need to have your knuckles closed and make a very firm contact on that ball. If you're swinging a big wing like Craig Buck is at the net, open your fingers, which is perfectly legal indoors. It's not legal out here on the beach.
Dvorak serves 6-2. Buck in the middle of Gene LeDuff and Dan Hannon. That block did not close up. Buck had plenty of room. Gets the side out. As the wind is picked up here, we're starting to see a good side.
There is a serving advantage, and watch it be very tough for the passers. The good side is the one the champion's on right now, as they're looking into the breeze.
Williams with the jump serve downwind. Hannon with the angle and puts the ball down for the side out.
Setting the middle, it's a very necessary thing to do when you're establishing your offense. He's got Craig Buck going up with him in the middle now. Danny Hannon brings up a middle blocker that opens up the outside, and that's what a setter's trying to do, is get the ball to his outside hitters one-on-one.
Short serve, Williams to Rig. Rig goes on 2. Rig is blocked with 1. Gene LeDuff, right arm. And that's another point for Champion. Out of Irving, Texas, Doug Rig has been holding up fairly well.
Well, I think I was one of the biggest victims of the heat yesterday. I ended up getting pretty dizzy, but what I've done today is kept some cold towels on my back and drunk a lot of water, and the women in the tent have been great. They've been helping us out, so it's been a good experience.
Rig's not the only one who's felt the effects of these elements, but everybody has got to confront the heat as they're passing that ball.
Bob Stavertlek will serve 7-2. And Craig Buck delivers a cross-court crusher, side out.
There's the firearm we haven't seen lately. Craig Buck with an actual hunk of heat right there as he delivers that 3-set. There's the one that keeps that blocker honest. He comes out wide for that quick set. That's the one that Doug Riggs says is so easy to set to Craig Buck because he makes such a big target, and it's very, very tough to stop because of the range Craig Buck presents.
2-7 the serve. Stavertlek waffles the ball off the double block. That little effective, efficient arm swing results in so many side outs.
You call it a waffle, but it's got some very sweet syrup on it for Champion. That's such an economical arm swing, always available. And he, as you say, gets so many side outs with that thing.
Hannon serves. Williams with a very pronounced capital S on that side out.
Now, Williams is the glue that has kept this team together through all the personnel changes. And it's with swings like that. I mentioned he was smaller than some of these players out here, but no more determined, no more fiery attacker than Jeff Williams.
Olympic gold medalist Steve Salmons, #1 blocker in the world. One of his amateur seasons goes outside against Bob Stavertlek with his partner Craig Buck. Rig has to tap the ball over. Here comes another chance for a side out. And LeDuff, looking at that angle, just goes up on the net. John, his eyes were the size of saucers as he went, aha, side out.
Eugene is an experienced beach player. He's got that cut shot. That's in his repertoire. And he goes up there, sees the available shot. Eugene says, I don't need to swing. I see a cut shot opening. There it is.
Dvorak, another Olympic gold medalist on the court here in Texas, serves 7-2. Williams goes up in the middle and bangs through the block of Hannon and Bob Stavertlek.
I think Doug Rigg has found a ready attacker here in Jeff Williams. Craig Buck, who's been carrying the load through much of the tournament, may be tiring just a little bit. We've seen him go to that high knuckle shot that Stverlik talked about trying to stop. It's been effective. Now Williams is the man.
Great shot from the end zone of the defense and offense as Williams jump serves at Bob Stverlik. Hannon bangs into the block. Buck taps it alive. And his partner in crime, partner in a point right there, Doug Rigg from Honolulu, Hawaii, who's used to this kind of heat, does a great outdoor products Irving, Texas shootout just outside of Dallas. We are on an extremely, John, the hottest day of the volleyball tour for us is Jeff Williams. You can see the sweat on Jeff as he is at the service line. Club facing a 3-7 deficit.
We've got to remember this is the culmination of 2 days of play out here in this heat. It's not just a one-match format. These guys have been battling for a long time.
Not to mention nights of play, as the night is the time to get out in this kind of heat. As Bob Stverlik, unfortunate for Craig Buck and Steve Salmons, as Stverlik tapped that ball up the tape. The block was obviously up before the shot was.
Only a fool tries to go over Craig Buck, so Stverlik says, I think I'll go down low. Hits it off the tape, catches Buck, I think, in the chin a little bit there. Buck, who was a good 3 feet over that hit, still not enough, as Stverlik found a way.
LeDuff serves 7-3. And he does not get to that little tap shot from Craig Buck. Side out.
Buck has put that shot down many times, but remember that Stverlik said that's what he wanted Buck to do. Eugene LeDuff, I'm sure, has been assigned that is his role on defense. That's why some of his team is a little frustrated. He's supposed to be laying in wait for that shot. He gets there late, and he's frustrated. He's failed in his defensive responsibility there.
Rigg, the man that is pushing that ball into about a 15-mile-an-hour wind when he shoots it that way out to Buck at the service line. LeDuff with a tough pass to Dvorak. He had to hit that ball over. And Craig Buck, it looked like it might have been off the block. That is a side out for Champion as his attack goes long.
I think it didn't touch the block. There was no call. Neither of the line judges who were looking for that touch, nor the under official who's also watching for that touch called it. So it's Stverlik back at the line.
And just because I called it, John's going, Duffy, there's 4 people that did not see that. Forget it. And a mishandled ball, a double hit, is called on Rigg as he went for that pass. He slipped in the sand, was unable to get to it. Jeff Williams, the captain of Club Sportswear, he's been a little worried about the old guys as he's so young out here in the heat.
Yeah, it's really hot out here, and the 2 older guys are sucking it up. It's a tough tournament today, but you know, we just have to play hard, and they're playing with a lot of heart, and it looks good, and we feel really confident about the final today.
Salmons and Buck seem to be holding up okay, and Doug Rigg spreading it around.
Stverlik serves. Williams chases down that short serve. Rigg goes backside to Steve Salmons, and he angles for the side out.
Salmons says, yes, I'm just fine. I may be one of the older players out here on the tour, but I still got some crank in this shoulder. And there's Jeff Williams' strength. He makes a perfect pass off of that very nice short serve, and Salmons sees the split block and goes for the hole. He fills in the seam between those 2 blockers. Nice vision and some nice play by Steve Salmons, who's hitting his uncharacteristic right side.
Buck, top spin serve, gets a point back for the club team as Gene LeDuff cannot track down that serve. Buck aces 4-8.
There we saw the wind really assert itself as Buck got a lot of topspin on that ball, and it spun not only down but away from Eugene LeDuff.
Dvorak goes back to Stverlik, and he is dug by Jeff Williams. The ball goes out into the crowd. Williams all alone in the backcourt, frustrated.
And that's why he's in the backcourt. It's because he's such a great defensive player, and he's back there to dig that seam. He's digging between the 2 blockers. A nicely formed block, but they find a way, and Williams digs that ball. That's right what he was laying for, so he's mad at himself for not digging that ball straight up in the air and playable.
Dan Hannon will serve. 3-time NCAA All-American at Stanford puts it in play. Salmons scrambles up. Hannon digs Salmons. Stverlik takes a swing at it. Nobody home. Hannon basically dug, pass, set. Stverlik with the kill. Another point for Champion.
Remember that Hannon is the middle blocker. but his quickness and versatility enable him to stay back and dig in the back row while Dusty Dvorak blocks. Hannon got that ball up in the air, and Stverlik with no approach at all. There's the dig. Stverlik with no approach, just rises right out of the sand. No step to get his jump going. Just soared and cranked it to the deep corner.
The Beach Boys have come to Texas. Yeah! And let's take a look at Steve Salmons. He's the oldest of the Beach Boys.
It's not Salmons, it's Salmons. You can call me Salmons, you can call me Sambo, you can call me Boney, you can call me Salmons, but just call me. I work 60 hours a week in real estate, and I come and compare myself to these guys. They give me grief about my low body fat, but I eat a lot, I'm hungry a lot, and the only way I stay in shape is my dog Boomer. He runs me around in circles. Well, life on the road. I have one major advantage out here. While all the other guys are out carousing, chasing women, drinking, I got my wife. She's at home, and I love her to death. And that's why I go back to the hotel first thing at night, look at her picture and say, that's why we're winners.
He loves his wife. I love my wife too, Duffy. You love your wife, don't you?
And I'm looking forward to seeing her very soon. Ball's in play from Hannon. And Jeff Williams bangs off of Gene LeDuff on the block. LeDuff goes, almost hand up.
Well, it's frustrating. He knows that Williams is going to be banging away, and LeDuff, who's a very good blocker, knows that's his assignment. He's got that middle play, the two in the middle. That's a two set. The medium-sized set, and Eugene LeDuff says, yeah, I was on it. Just got to turn it down. It's where you point your hands that make all the difference at that last minute.
Gene was so tall on that play. Wanted that block. Bob Stverlik off the top of the net. Good for the side out as Stverlik and his teammates with a 9-4 lead.
Watch this X play develop as Danny Hannon goes up in the middle. A perfect pass, first of all, by Stverlik, and then nobody up on the X. Buck, who went up in the middle, was not up. That is just great set selection by Dusty Dvorak, who's quarterbacked this team brilliantly all season long.
Dusty Dvorak, Olympic gold medalist. In his days on the U.S. team, considered, of course, the best setter in the world, which he was, John, and may still be. The unforgotten man on the butt tour as the ball is kept alive by Jeff Williams. Salmon's working for a side out. Bob Stverlik. That was Gene LeDuff to Bob Stverlik, and that was Bob Stverlik past Craig Buck. Another point for Champion.
From about 5 or 6 feet off the net, Stverlik again with no approach. Incredible the amount of range in the offense that we see here. There's Stverlik with a big dig. Ball goes up in the middle, a bump set. How can we hit this ball hard? Stverlik says, I think I'll take a crack at it. Goes right back to the corner. Hardly the optimum set when it's being bumped from well off the court like that, but Stverlik was ready and lowered the ball.
Our players are taking a break. We've got a hot one here in Texas. You get yourselves a cold one. We'll be right back. Back at the service line. 10 will serve for. Riggs stays in the middle. Williams cranks, and Dusty Dvorak digs him. Williams goes backside to Craig Buck. Craig Buck with a little heat of his own in the heat of Dallas, side out.
2 blockers. Buck says, hey, I'm going to bang us back into contention here. They've only got 4 points. They're down a little, and Craig Buck knows that he has to ignite this team somehow. That's his role out here, is to ignite this team. He does it with some big hits. He's going to need to do it with some big blocks, and he's entirely capable of doing that.
Williams jump serve from the good side. The ball goes long.
Williams trying to use one of his strengths to ignite the team, the tough jump serve. That one carries long and out of bounds.
Gene LeDuff will serve. 10 serving 4. Williams. LeDuff tomahawks the ball into play. Big hit. He had to play that ball right in the corner. Club's chance. Gene LeDuff again, overhand dig. Gene LeDuff again. Swing. Gene LeDuff.
That's a sweet kill after all those digs back and forth. There's a tendency to want to just not make that terminal mistake, just not make the final error of a long rally like that with so many great digs. Eugene LeDuff goes from the middle back where he's dug the ball and just cranks it cross court. Still had plenty left. That's a real tribute to Eugene Leduff's conditioning.
The fans here in Las Colinas, America's premier address in Irving, Texas, are enjoying a very hot day and a long day.
I'll tell you, Duffy, Eugene Leduff's workout is a gruel. It gets you in shape. I've been there.
And Gene Leduff is at the service line. And Stavertlich with a dig on Williams. Dvorak. They reach back for that attack. Buck taps the ball over. Hand-in-hand sets Stavertlich, and Williams cannot handle that topspin in the wind.
There was a point opportunity, but again, the set blew to the inside, and Craig Buck couldn't respond to it. Buck is used to the quicker middle sets, and when he gets a high outside set, he's not ready for it on that point opportunity. Here comes the final play, high off the top of the block, and Stavertlich knows exactly what he's doing as he confronts that two-man block.
Leduff will serve. 11-4. You can hear the wind in the microphones on court. 12-4 is the score. I correct myself. We cannot see a scoreboard in this heat. And sometimes I'm enjoying my commentary so much, I lose track of the score. It is now 13-4. I've added 2 points to the score in the last minute.
That time Williams, he was off camera there during the replay, but he tried to dig out after that ball.
We're back. 13-4 is the score. That is correct, John. 13-4 for champion.
But club sportswear knows that they're not out of it. Check out the body chemistry. The body language. These guys are starting to fade, but if club's going to make a comeback, they need to do it right now. If they get a 7-13 side change, they still have a crack at it.
Leduff will serve. Big lead. Huge side out every time now. Stavertlich keeps the ball alive. Stavertlich banging off the block. Salmon stops Stavertlich on the outside.
What a gorgeous block by Steve Salmons. He's the tour leader. You mentioned that he was the leading blocker in the world at one point. He's also the leader on the tour this year for stuff blocks. And take a look at why. The set goes outside to Bob Stavertlich. Not an easy man to block, but Salmon goes up and closes that ball. Just encases that line and just drives the ball back down. Picture perfect line blocking.
Doug Rigg serves.
Leduff, very strong off the two-man block. Just gets up there and whacks away. Very nice swing by Leduff. Nice safe hit. He's not going to get stuff straight down by a swing like that. The blockers are off the net. They really want to be up and over the net. Leduff senses that and just whacks it off their hands.
13 serves for. Rigg goes back to Salmons. He pounds the ball into Hannon and Leduff. Gene Leduff looking at his hands going, how did that get through there? Look at those hands. There's no big holes for a volleyball to go through.
Sambo went right between his hands. Fraction of an inch can make the difference when it's how far apart your hands are. You want them to be tight enough so that ball can't penetrate.
Buck serves. 4-13. Hannon unable to really attack that ball. Buck for a point. Not. Stavertlich taps the ball. Rigg scrambles up. He's got to get back to the ball. He gets to the ball, but he can't keep it in play. Great hustle by the man from Pepperdine in Honolulu, Hawaii, the Cetera Club, Doug Rigg.
And that's frustrating. I mentioned the body language. It tells you a lot about whether a team's going to be able to come back and compete. That ball touches the tips of the fingers of both blockers. Nice layout dig by Rigg, who has to then get up and scramble. It's just not there.
Mikasa Beach Pro, the official ball of the Bud Tour. And there it goes, served by Hannon. Over. Passed by Williams, and a point for champion. John, this has been too easy for champion as we go to championship point, 14-4.
We rarely see a pass by Jeff Williams go awry, and that one was right in his sweet spot there to pass the ball, and he's frustrated. We can see him hanging his head because he's used to passing that ball perfectly.
Championship point. Dan Hannon will serve. A 10-point lead. Tough pass by Salmons. Rigg has no choice to go back to Steve. Here it is. Champion can do it right here. Bob Stavertlich, Craig Buck digs him. And that ball is good.
A nice dig by Craig Buck getting the ball up in the air, and Rigg going up, and instead of setting it, instead of choosing to set that ball to one of his big hammers, Salmons or Buck, turns and fires. We see Craig Buck with a lot of good hard work as he digs that ball from off the net. Rigg brings it down to the deep corner. Nice turn and crank by Rigg.
Sweet. Salmons. 4-14. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
A lot of head hanging here on the club team. That really indicates that they're probably not going to be able to muster a comeback here. However, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Championship point for
Dusty Dvorak has really set a spectacular finals.
Championship point now for Dvorak. 14-4. Buck delivers the side out.
There's Craig Buck for the Warrior. He knows he's the man. He gets the set that time. He says, hey, if it's going to end, I'm not going to end it on a little piece of finesse. He says, I'm going to deliver right there. Yeah. He sent a lot of balls to their resting place during the course of this tournament, I'll tell you.
Captain of club. They won tournament play. Ooh. Craig Buck took one right on the forehead from Stavertlich, and the ball will go back to point.
A nice firm low swing by Stavertlich that time. When you're hitting against Craig Buck, you have to be alert because he can penetrate so far over the net. Stavertlich says, I'm not going high, I'm going to go low. Saw you move your arms to the inside, hits it down the line and off a Buck.
Point. Championship point. X-play. Gene LeDuff keeps the ball alive. Dvorak taps the ball deep, but he taps it too deep. Side out.
Dusty sometimes has a lot of success on shooting that ball, but he hasn't today. So maybe he's trying to end it with a strong stroke. Hits that ball out of bounds. Don't look for him to do that again. He's going to set somebody next time he gets that chance.
Ball is kept alive by Craig Buck off the block. Doug Rigg, their setter, tosses it up to Steve Salmons. Side out opportunity right now for Champion. Who else but Bob Stavertlich? And he goes off the block. If that ball hadn't been blocked, it would have gone into the lake here in Las Colinas.
And far from being lucky, Stavertlich is just smart. He knows that there's hands hovering over the net. The set is too tight. He knows that Craig Buck at 6'9" is up there reaching. He says, I'm just going to use that big hand. I don't want to confront it and try and hit past it. I think I'll just tool it off the block.
Great work by our camera crew here for ESPN as they showed you exactly that Bob Stavertlich had no intention of playing that ball in the court. Salmons blocked by LeDuff. Rigg. And the ball does not clear the net. Championship point is in the sand here in Irving, Texas. Las Colinas, our 11th stop belongs to Champion. Club will not win 3 in a row. No one has.
Champion had to battle after that grueling semifinal match, too. A real tribute to their stamina and their drive. And that was a well-formed block by Hannon and LeDuff. I mentioned that they were good blockers. That ball comes off of LeDuff's hand up in the air where Salmons plays it. And Rigg, who had some success by hitting that second ball earlier, hit that one into the tape. It never clears. The day ends finally for Club Sportswear and happily for Champion.
We'll be back with our winners here in Irving, Texas, right after this.